Hi guys, my name is Shelley Hill and I am with Smart Kid Choices. Smart Kid Choices is a company that my husband and I came up with that focuses on critical thinking for children and helping them make really good decisions when you're not around. One of the products through Smart Kid Choices is Smart Kid Cards. And this is a very well thought out deck of 84 cards that has images on the front, and on the back it has helpful hints to help the parents or the educators, grandparents, special needs counselors. It helps all these type of responsible adults help their children or the kids in their care by having really good conversations on what if. So how this whole system works is that images are stored in our long-term memory, longer than words or writing. That's why our storybooks are full of images and really fun colors, because it makes your brain a little bit more active. And if you were to mix a learning style that may be coming to the forefront with images that you can learn from, when you put those two together, especially in children, but also with adults, but when you put that together, nothing but benefits will happen. Their retention is longer, their recall is quicker, and everything about the way that they store information is going to be more readily available in an image, because it's called recognition prime decision making, which in a sense, very quickly, I mean, I could talk about that for 3 days, but in a sense, what recognition prime decision making is you've seen it before, you've practiced it, or you have recognized this image or this scenario before, and your brain will just run through all of these answers and discard very, very quickly something that doesn't fit. So it will pick the best prime answer for that situation. So it's recognition prime decision making. So that's kind of the system we use with Smart Kid Choices, and especially in the Smart Kid Cards. So what I wanted to do was just give you just a little bit of information about this learning system. It's really for ages 4 through 13. Anything over 13, it could be something else that we provide that's called image-based decisional drills. But the ages 4 through 13 is more about picking and choosing age-specific cards, and let's have good discussions. Seriously, guys, I don't like it as a flashcard system. Maybe pick 1 or 2 cards a month. Set aside a day or time that's 15 minutes with your phone off, so on and so forth, and have some really good conversations with your kids. In this system, you'll have a little burlap sack that your cards go in. There's some stickers and some magnets, just some fun stuff. But it also has a booklet called Setting You Up for Success. That I need for you to read, because it talks about the different types of learning. It talks about how to get your child to open up to you. And one of the biggest benefits that we found through this that I didn't even think about is that once you start the ball rolling with these conversations, they can't wait to have this time with you that is uninterrupted. Then they start sharing more stuff with you that happened at school, because they're able to communicate with you. And you might be able to pull a card that you had talked about before, or something that you want to talk about that directly relates to something they want to talk about. So it's really interesting, the communication that that this opens up is just a benefit that I didn't foresee that would be outside of the cards. So how wonderful. So I haven't picked any specific ones, guys, just so you know. It's just is what it is. I'm just going to pick some and just kind of talk to you about it. Like this first one is a dog off the leash. So what I've written on the back here is just little helpful hints. The first bullet point is always use your imagination and experiences, because it's not me teaching. It's not the experts teaching. It's you teaching with your parents' style on some things that might be helpful for you to talk to your child about so they make good decisions when you're not there. So this would be, is the dog friendly or unfriendly? We don't know. You might not want to approach a dog that is off leash. You know, stay away from their face. Don't pet. It's considered strange. It could bite. These are things that you might want to talk about. Here's just another one off the top. This one here. Guys, let's talk about swimming alone. Let's talk about a parent or guardian needs to be with you. Let's talk about serious consequences of drowning. Right? Let's talk about these things. And maybe if it's an older child, maybe no CPR. Obviously, the good stuff. Let's stay away from smoking and drugs and vaping. And this tells you, once again, little bullet points that might help you communicate with your child. Something here as simple as, if you see broken glass in the house or outside the house or playground, what should we do? Well, we want to stay away from it because it can cut you, but it also could have diseases. It can hurt. All these wonderful things. You might want to get a parent or a guardian. Once again, I'm just flipping through some of these, guys. These are not, I haven't picked these out. This one here, once again, age specific. Always that first bullet point is use your imagination and experiences. This is for your maybe older child, controlling behavior. Abusive boyfriend or girlfriend. You did nothing wrong. Let's talk about verbal abuse. Let's talk about physical abuse. Let's talk about financial abuse. Let's talk about telling someone if your teen is under the control of somebody that, that may not have their best interest at heart. Some of the stuff is very hard to talk about. This one here, let's talk about daycare, after school programs. Let's talk about leaving with strangers, bad people. Some people do bad things. And you might want to have a safe word. Tourniquet. How old is their child, is your child, or the person in your care? And would you like to talk about life-saving skills? If so, let's talk about how and when this can be used. Maybe get into a class, CPR. I'm going to go through just a couple more, and then I'm going to end with two of my favorites here, if I can find them. Here's another good one. This one here, do not touch. Get a parent or guardian. We need to discuss gun safety in our home and outside of our home. Stay away from it. What could happen, right? We need to talk about that kind of stuff. My last two will be this one. This is where it all started. Several years ago, I asked, I don't know, I want to say 50, but that seems too high, but I know it's not because I did the paperwork. I asked roughly 50 people, do they have a fire extinguisher in their house? And all 50 said yes. And then I said, is it in the kitchen? Is it in a utility room? Is it, a garage attached, something to that effect? And 90% of them, give or take, said it's under the kitchen sink type thing. Awesome. Then I asked, do their kids know where it's at? And all of them, absolutely. We go over it. This is where it's at, so on and so forth. Awesome. They've got a little medical protocol. A lot of them did. Not all of them, but a lot of them did. And the kids knew where it was at, which I thought was absolutely awesome. Then I asked the final question. Do your kids know how to use it? Do they understand how to use the mechanism? Do they understand where it's going to come out? Do they understand the color and the consistency? Do they understand the power that they'll feel behind this? Do they understand how to physically use a fire extinguisher and to not fear it, but to control it? Not one person said yes. Not one person. That means that we need to do something about that. So I advise everybody to buy 2 fire extinguishers. One, they're going to take out in the yard and they're going to let their kids practice. And they're going to understand the aim and the mess. And they're going to understand all of it so there's no surprise. So if they need to use it, they're ready to go. They're ready to go physically and mentally. That's where this started. And this is where it's going to end as far as this video. This is my very favorite card. I like to start with this card when I'm teaching or helping others, and I like to end with this card. Ready? Here's what it says. Upside down here. You can tell me anything. I promise I will help you no matter what. I may get upset, but we will get through our growing pains together as a team. I am your biggest fan. Nothing you do or say will make me stop loving you. Sometimes we do all make poor decisions, but I am proud of you no matter what. I or we love you very much. I think our kids or people in our care need to know that they do have big fans out there and there is unconditional love. So let's talk to them about some of the hard subjects and let's get their minds thinking on how to make sure that they keep the distance between this bad person's situation or scenario and them. And let's talk to them about getting home safely and how to avoid. That is Smart Kid Cards in a nutshell. You can find us at www.smartkidchoices.com. Thanks, guys.